As the war in Ukraine escalates, more and more families are being impacted by the destruction, the violence and the loss of any normality. Children have been most affected, having lost 2 years of regular schooling in many cases. And that means they've lost time with friends and loved ones, as well as the opportunity to learn. This is what a school teacher and a mother who fled the front line only a few weeks ago had to say about the situation.
Since my daughter went to school, she has had only 2 years of actual studying. Then there was the lockdown, and when it ended, the war started. And all the recent years, all the studying has only been online. That means power outages. During air raid alerts, they were supposed to disconnect from the online class. Her studying has obviously suffered. Children have no motivation to study. There is no desire to learn something new. Because of frequent air alerts, we cannot make studying consistent. We may have to spend several lessons in a row in a bomb shelter. And some days we'll have 2 or 3 air alerts and have to go to and from the bomb shelter all the time. After a night of air alerts, children come to school tired and sleep deprived. Some skip the school altogether. Gaps in their knowledge just pile up.
Let's expand on this now with World Vision Australia CEO Daniel Wordsworth. Daniel, great to see you. This is, just another heartbreaking reminder of how war affects children in particular. And even though it's not in our headlines every day, the reality of the situation is just diabolical.
It's really diabolical. That lady said that they have 2 or 3 air alerts every day. When I was in Dnipro recently, they were averaging about 10 per day. And so that's just constant disruption for these kids. I had a psychiatrist once tell me that worked in conflicts like this. He said it's the adults who are affected or traumatized by the event, but the children are affected and traumatized by how adults, their community and how their environment responds to the event. And so this is what you're seeing now. 2 years of no schooling has actually a profound impact on these kids.
Yeah, that's really interesting that you say that, because obviously the anxiety of adults is completely understandable, but children are looking to the adults, I guess, to kind of figure out how to regulate their response. It's just one of those situations that, it's really hard for adults to respond in any other way, but it's affecting children so much.
Yeah, there's a couple of things going on, but I remember once I was in Germany and I was talking to a refugee family that had fled from Syria, actually. So this is going on maybe 10 years ago. And they had been, because you may be thinking, why has this woman left the front line now? Right? The war's been going on for 2 years. And so I met with a family in Germany who had been in the city of Aleppo for 4 years during the war, and they'd just become refugees. And when I asked them why, they said it was because the university in Aleppo had been destroyed. And what's curious about this is I think sometimes we think that people are fleeing conflict because of, lack of food, lack of water, lack of shelter, immediate fear for their families. But actually for this family from Syria, what they fled was the destruction of hope and a future for their children. Yeah. And so right now what we're seeing is a targeting of educational infrastructure. And what you're seeing there is a concerted effort to remove the belief in a future. So when you see your high school gone, when you see your university gone, when you have a prolonged exposure to conflict, kids begin thinking there's really no point to any of this. Why should I learn? There's no future that's actually going to be there for me. And so you're actually seeing that in that interview where she talks about the sort of, the fact that kids are withdrawing and pulling back from the educational opportunity.
It's so interesting you say that, because when I went to Nauru, it would have been almost 10 years ago now, it wasn't that there was state-sanctioned torture. It wasn't that the facilities were awful to live in. What was really bothering these asylum seekers and refugees was that they didn't have any certainty about their future. And that, I imagine, is what people in Ukraine are trying to seek. They're trying just to move somewhere where they can have some kind of certainty about what's going to happen in the weeks, months and years ahead. Is that right?
Exactly. That's exactly right. I think we have this view that people are focused on their immediate life needs, and that is true, but they're just as concerned about the future. People listening to this, mums and dads, you know what it's like. You're all about your kids, and if you can see no pathway for them, I mean, honestly, what sort of world is that you're in? And so you'll do anything that you can do to make sure that your children can grow up safe, with some well-being, and with a future.
Why did you want to talk to me about this today, Daniel? I mean, the reasons are obvious. We want to shine a light on what's happening and make sure people don't forget. But what can World Vision do about that uncertainty, and what can ordinary Australians help World Vision do?
Right. Right. Yeah. I'm not on here to just remind people about how catastrophic some parts of the world are. Yeah. World Vision is there, right? So we are actually we've in the last just 12 months helped 1.9 million people. About 900,000 of those are these very kids that we're talking about. We run educational facilities all along that front line in the eastern part of the country. I think I've talked on your show actually about some of the bomb shelters that I was in, some of the child-friendly spaces that I was in. So one, people can be reassured when you donated and when you came alongside World Vision 2 or 3 years ago, that actually we're still there, we're still on the ground, we're still doing things. I mean, we are making an appeal to the Australian government. It's time. We've got to stop thinking that this war is going to finish tomorrow, because it's not, that we have to look at multi-year funding, multi-year support, that we're in this for the long haul. For Australian people, you can just stay connected to World Vision. Be assured that we're going to be there. We're helping these kids, and don't give up on the world, and don't give up on Ukraine.
It's always such dark content when we speak, but I always feel so uplifted when we do. A strange thing, that. Thanks so much.
Good. Yeah. Great. Thanks, Laura.